Max Melton's offseason's been? What do you kind of feel like is the next step in his progression and his development?
Yep, I think Max has been doing really, really well. The biggest thing, we've been working on as a group, the small details. We kind of left a lot of stuff out there last year, and Max knows that. But we've really honed into the small details, and he's done a good job in terms of stepping up and being a leader. Right? We know that in order for us to take the next step, we need to actually take the next step higher as far as our leadership, and he's been doing a good job of that. I've been impressed so far.
Why is, with spring practice being like right in the middle of the offseason through the end of last season and all that, getting this group back at this point in their development, how is that so valuable for you as a positions coach and just for the staff as a whole?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, especially just what we do schematically. We feel that we have the personnel we need to do what we need to do. Now it's just for us as a staff just coming up with, what are the things we need to do to put them in position to actually go out there and execute a little bit better. But I think this is a really good group. I love the energy. They're really focused and locked in. And obviously I love, as you guys see, it's a lot of energy out here. That's what we need to take the next step and get to where we need to be.
You got two transfers at cornerback, Eric Rogers and Charles Amanqua.
Yep.
What have you seen from them, and what should people know about them?
Yeah, I mean, just for starters, they're us, and we ID'd that in the recruiting process, and we knew they were good football players, but most importantly to us, we wanted to make sure we got the right kids here that are fit in the program, and man, they fit. You wouldn't even tell that they transfers if you come into our meeting room because they just get along with everybody. The guys love them. They took them in immediately, and as a coach, when you see it, that just warms your heart. Because as you know, sometimes that can be a little chaotic, but it's been good. I enjoy both of them. I think they're both working really hard, and I think they're adjusting really well.
Coach, with the guys you had coming back, like you said, and making strides, what kind of progress have you seen the guys make since the end of last season?
The biggest thing that stands out to me is they're holding each other accountable. When they make a mistake on the field, I hear them on the sideline, I hear them in the other corner, coaching them up, and as you do that, and you start to build a culture, you're taking the right steps as a team. But I think that's something that we did lack last year that we've been doing a good job, especially with the young kids that we have.
Robert Longerbeam is a guy who's kind of made steady progress. What do you feel like his kind of process is this offseason? What's the biggest priority for him?
Yep, we really just focus on his body. Beam has actually been very, very well just in terms of taking ownership and actually taking the next step as far as being a leader. As he know, we're a really good team when we have Robert Longerbeam out there. So we've been focused on just keeping him healthy and obviously taking that next step as far as a leadership role.
And then, when you talk about these guys that, came into the program as young guys, now, in the case of Longerbeam, becoming more and more of a leader through spring practice, you get into the season, what does that process look like for a player to sort of assume that role?
Yeah, well, to be honest with you, it starts with the coach. We can't just say, hey, man, you got to be a lead. The thing is, you got to show them how to lead. So we've been doing that just collectively as a staff. How do we let the leaders emerge? But one, we got to teach them how to lead. And I think Beam is one of the guys that kind of grasped that concept and just took it and ran with it.
Secondary was kind of the strength of this team last year. Like, what's the next step for, the secondary as a whole?
Yeah, well, we got to just play together, just play in sync. Obviously, we got some holes to fill, so we're just kind of working through that. But we're making progress. We know we're near where we need to be, but as you know, that's what you got spring ball for. You got fall camp. So we're still trying to figure some things out, and hopefully by the time September comes, we got it all figured out.
It's been a year, since you got here. What have you learned, personally over the last year for yourself?
Say it again, I'm sorry.
You're here for a year at this point. What have you learned, about yourself, about everything, over the course of the last year?
Well, the thing about this place is a tough place, and the thing that I love about here than any other place I've been is these kids come to work every day and they work hard. It's hard to go to Rutgers, play football, and go to school here. And the fact that these kids wake up and do it every day, that's what motivates me as a coach every day to wake up and come and give these kids all I got. So I appreciate that so much, and that's why I'm here.
Greg has talked in the past about how the defense collectively is very close. There's a lot of camaraderie there, how it kind of starts with Joe. Can you kind of talk about that from your perspective of what you've seen and how important that is when it translates to the field?
Yeah, it starts from the top. I think Coach Harris-Simiak is awesome. I think we gel well together as a staff. We challenge each other every day. You got Coach Harris-Simiak, Coach Heatherman, Coach Watson, Coach Descari, and even the guys that work with us. It's a very unique group. It's rare to find, and when you get that and you can hold on to that, you know that you're taking the next steps as a program. We've been in that thing burning up just like it's the season because that's how much we want to put these kids in position to go out there and be able to execute. We still have a lot of work to do, but I wouldn't want to do it with any other staff than the guys I'm with now.
And how valuable is having that continuity with a lot of those key positions on the defensive side of the ball from the coaching side?
it's big because, as you know, we see things differently, and when we all put our thoughts and ideas together, right, at the end of the day, we come up with one decision. We're vertically aligned, and that's what I appreciate the most. Because we might not all agree, but we know if it's the best situation for the team and for these kids, we're going to do it no matter what. And that's what I appreciate about those guys.